So welcome to part 3, guys, of this debt drama. I ended the last video talking about how much work, you have to work, you have to put in the work and the time to reach whatever goal, to reach the goal of debt freedom. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being debt free. And so I talked in the last video about the class that we took, the Financial Peace University, 13 weeks. Those weeks were long. But guess what? We did it. We did it. And we have received the reward of living debt free from that. And, you know, when we reach that goal, before we even reach that goal, this is what I want to talk about today, because this is a part of our journey. We finished that course starting in February, and we ended in, 13 weeks from mid-February. And the very first thing that we wanted to do, even though we had not met our goal, even though we were still struggling, trying to, not just write the budget, but stick to it. We still had obligations. We still had to go through this foreclosure process. We were still in the middle of that, while we're trying to learn how to be better stewards over what we now understood. Everything that we had belonged to God, not just the 10% that we were given, but all of it did. But he gives us the free will to do whatever we choose to do with that 90. And we were not managing it well. And it caught up with us. And I know that we're not the only ones that has happened to. We know people, we go to church with people, that tithe, but they're struggling. They're still struggling. I know what that feels like. I know what that looks like. I know what you tell yourself, I'm giving this, I'm going to sow this, and God's going to do this. And he's able. He's able, right? But God will not do for you what you can do, what he has equipped you to do. I just had to throw that out there because I believe God can do anything. But I also believe that he will not do what he has enabled and equipped me to do. Amen. Amen. All right. So one of the things we did while we were on this journey is we began to share the information that we received with any and everybody who would listen. Most of them would not. Why? Because they weren't ready. They had not got into a place that we were in where it was like, something got to be different. We heard them talk about, I can't do this because money is short, or, just money problems. And we talk about, hey, we went through this class, and you know what? Well, the first things we did before that year ended, we had a small group. We took a group of close friends through the course in our home. And I'll show you this. The course had been revised to a 9-week course, thank God, except versus a 13-week. And this was the book. This is my coordinator book. And we still struggling. We still going through through the steps that you find that he presents in the book to follow. It was practical. That's what made it more helpful. It wasn't say, do this, do this, do this, without the how, without the accountability, without the, hand holding, if you will. It really broke down what it took to do things systematically. And again, most importantly, biblically. This course it's for those who aren't believers, they would say, well, they may not be interested in the class, but you know what? I would encourage you to do it anyway. Just because, the information, the point is it works. It works. The steps work. Check it out. Anyway, moving on. So we hosted a class in our home, a group of friends. We started, I believe it was October of that year. I did that on purpose because I knew Christmas was coming up. And I knew that by the time we got to a specific lesson in this financial peace course, that it would cause them to pause and whatever their plans were for Christmas shopping, for accumulating more debt during that season, because that's usually when credit cards are maxed out and we buy things for people because we want to show them that we love them and we appreciate them. And I'm here to tell you there are more ways to do that than getting into debt. But the point of this is that while we were coming out, we started sharing with other people what was helping us. Even though we were still in it, we hadn't come out yet, but we saw the progress, and we wanted people that we cared about to come along with us. For those that weren't here that I wanted to share it with, guess what? When I had an opportunity, I bought the class. I sent it to them. Now, what they did with it, I don't know. But that was their answer. And maybe when they see this video and they haven't picked up that book yet, or they see this video and it reminds them of that, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But guess what? I sowed the seed because I know that it works. So moving from there, we continue. We even began to facilitate classes at our church for a season. And there were people who came along that journey with us then. And some of them, went all the way through. Some of them stopped halfway through. But you know what? The seed was planted. When that season was up, we started facilitating classes, and still we're going to be starting one in a few weeks, I believe, facilitating classes for the military. Here's another one. It has a military edition. And it's just been such a blessing to see people's lives change real time, and to see how the seed that was planted in us, how it grew, how it brought us to that end of being rid of debt and encouraging other people that they can do it too. It takes change. It takes a mindset shift. It takes, relearning some things and throwing away some things that you learned by people who meant well but just didn't know. They just pass along information that they never put into practice, and then you never saw the fruit of that in their lives. And so that's one thing that I want to show is the fruit of what this debt-free journey has produced in our lives. And I want to share it with others. I encourage you, Dave Ramsey ain't paying me nothing, but his program has changed my life. And if you have the opportunity, if you're in an area where the classes is provided or offered, you can even do it at home on your own time. Stream it. It is worth it. Invest in yourself. Okay? Invest in yourself. That's one thing I've learned with hearing people say that they want help. And then when you give them the opportunity to get that help, and when they find out that it may cost them something, it may cost their time, it may cost them to purchase, a course, a book to read, whatever it is, you learn very quickly that they're not as ready as they said that they were, right? Because they have, their mindset has not shifted to see that I've invested all this money and time into things that I purchase, to products that I purchased that some of the products I don't even use anymore. You forget you buy some things, right? But now you're in a place where you say that you're ready with your mouth, that you're ready to make a change, but your actions, when it's time to act upon those words, it's different. So again, I just want to encourage you who are watching me tell this story, is that you don't have to wait until you have completed a thing to encourage others, because while you're in it and you're helping and you're providing the wisdom that you're learning, the knowledge that you're gaining, there may be a point along that journey, if you bring someone alongside you to help with that accountability, that you may fall off. And, you know, they're the ones there to encourage you to keep going. You know, they're seeing your progress. And so I know sometimes, you know, in certain situations, you know, there are things I believe that people are very hesitant to receive information and wisdom because they don't consider it wisdom from people who are struggling in a certain area. But I've learned that there is a place for that. There is a place for that, because while they're going through something, even if they haven't overcome it yet, even though they haven't come out, there are some things that they're learning that you could learn, the wisdom they provide from just their mistakes. I'm going to be sharing that. I'm going to be sharing some of the specific mistakes that we made, the things that we were told that would help us accelerate our wealth building. And it took us backwards. It took us backwards pretty far. But guess what? There's hope. We came out and we're ready to bring others out. Will you come with us? Will you come with me? I'll see you next week for part 4. Bye.